Okay. Using the gradient mesh tool, which is on the left-hand side, about maybe 4 from the bottom. It's this one. And it doesn't have a pullout because it's there on its own. So you have to select it just by clicking on it, not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing a shape, and you will see how the gradient mesh tool works. I'm going to draw a sphere, and then I'm going to give it a color. Now, the way the gradient mesh tool works is in Photoshop, you use your mesh tool to reshape your objects in ways that you can control. You know, it's good for doing flags or moving fabric or things like that. Now, if you use the gradient mesh tool and you click in your shape, oops, make sure I got the tool selected, you will see that it will automatically start putting in your mesh lines. And you can get rid of them. Oops, I don't want to get all of them. I want to get rid of one of them. Let's try that again. White arrow, select a point. Why is my gradient mesh not behaving? I have to have the tool selected. There we go. Okay, good. You can delete specific lines by using your tool and hitting in. Okay, so what's the point of all of this? You may ask yourself. Well, here we go. I'm going to show you. Okay, so if I select specific points in my gradient, I can move them around. I can also assign specific colors to them. So it's a cool way to create your own custom gradients. And then I can head in and manipulate how that particular colored gradient is going to work by dragging my points around, right? So it gives you a lot of custom control for recoloring your objects. And adding colors to gradients. So one of the ways that we can work with this really interestingly in our artwork is you could throw in your mesh on a shape that is a part of your garment. You could recolor those individual points and you could give it a really nice satin finish. Okay, so the idea would be you would start with a shape, move that out of the way, and this would be a section of your garment. And here I'm just going to do a rectangle. I would throw in my mesh. Get you out of the way. You know, I'd fill my shape. Swatches. Here we go. And then I would white arrow, grab individual points within that garment piece, and then I would recolor them lighter that. And then I would go back in and then I could move them around so it looks like fabric swaying and moving, which could give you a really pretty effect of light on silk, right? Because the gradients that we did for silk the first time around were very linear. And this way you can actually shape it to the body in really pretty ways. So that is our tool we're going to be using today, which is the gradient mesh. Just move those around. So you can use it to create really cool designs, or you can actually do it to simulate a silk fabric on with like light being shone on it to get nice movement. You could also take this and reduce the opacity and put it over something else to look like lights and darks undulating over actual fabric. So that is our tool for today that can be used in your fashion illustrations.